Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest in the Secrets of the Damned podcast. Today is Thursday, January 3rd, 2019. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope 2019 has been treating you all very well so far. We are here today with me, Nora Agha. I am a voiceover actress and audiobook narrator, and more specifically, the narrator of The Kirk, Part 1 in Secrets of the Damned. I am very, very excited to be here today. I have a few questions here that I would like to answer for you all to let you get to know a little bit more about me, a little bit more about Secrets of the Damned, a little bit more about The Kirk, and a little bit more about the process of audiobook narration. So hi, welcome, and let's get started. The first question that I have here is, describe yourself and how you got into being a voiceover actor. So, hi, my name is Nora Agha. I am a person, and I'm an audiobook narrator. I'm also a substitute teacher. I used to teach full-time at an adult day school in Toronto. And then I moved to a suburb a little bit too far from the school where I worked. I miss it every day, believe me. I miss my school. I miss my students. If any of my students are listening to this, I miss you guys. So I started out as an adult day school teacher. I am now a substitute teacher for mainstream high school students. And I love it. I love teaching. I love education. But I'm also I don't know how to put this. I'm a restless person. I like to have a multitude of projects on the go. I like to do just as much of life as possible. And I've really just always been interested in reading out loud. I love reading out loud. It's just something that I enjoy so thoroughly. I love bringing characters to life. I love changing my tone. I love the theatrics of it all. I just really love reading out loud. So I decided to become an audiobook narrator, and here I am. The second question that I have here is, how did I find out about Secrets of the Damned? Well, I wish I had known about Secrets of the Damned always, because I feel like I've been missing out, not knowing about it until now. But basically what happened is I decided that I wanted to be an audiobook narrator. I put up some samples on ACX, which is the meeting space for narrators and authors to meet and decide to work together. I uploaded a number of samples, one of which was from The Hobbit by Tolkien, one of my absolute favorite novels. And I guess Jim was looking for a man to narrate his series, Secrets of the Damned, and more specifically, The Kirk. And I guess in that search, he decided to open it up a little bit to also include female narrators, and he heard my sample of The Hobbit and contacted me. So he reached out by message, and I got this feeling in my gut, just this sudden instinct that, oh my God, this is happening. This is it. This feels so right. And he asked me to audition, sent me the audition sheet. And as I was reading it into the microphone, I was riveted, just thoroughly gripped by this single page of text. I needed to know what would happen in this story. I needed to know if Jack Stevens would fulfill his promise to his Melanie. I needed to read this book and preferably to read it out loud for Jim as an audiobook. And he hired me. And I cannot begin to express the excitement of knowing that a project is just so right and wanting so badly to read it out loud. And I'm just honestly so privileged and honored to have been found and chosen by Jim to do this. And that's how I found out about Secrets of the Damned. The third question that I have here is, what were your first impressions of the novel, The Kirk? What were my first impressions? I mean, I feel like I touched on that a little bit. I was riveted. I was so immersed in the story. I loved it. And once Jim decided to hire me and sent me the manuscript, I feel like there aren't enough synonyms for riveted and gripped to express how fascinating this novel is. It is exceptionally well written. The characters are so thoroughly developed. Coming up with voices for the characters is unbelievably easy because they are so three-dimensional and so well considered that it's as though they come pre-packaged with voices. It's a phenomenal novel. If you haven't read it, read it. Or buy the audiobook and listen to it. I very, very highly recommend that, especially if you're enjoying the sound of my voice right now. My favorite parts of the novel. So the next question is, what are your favorite parts of the novel? And I mean, it's really a toss-up. I'd have to say, I guess it's the obvious answer. Once we reach the climax, once we start getting to the height of the conflict between Merritt Quintel and Jack Stevens, that's probably where the novel is at its most gripping. But my favorite parts have to be Jack Stevens' memories. When he is walking down memory lane and thinking of his time with his wife, especially when his wife was quote unquote ill, but actually, being attacked by a vampire. Is that a spoiler? I don't want to give you spoilers. I don't think that's a spoiler. No. Yeah, I think Jack Stevens' memories are some of my absolute favorite parts of the novel. I have to say, though, that my favorite character is John Curtis. I love John. He's not a major character, but he comes in at just the perfect times as just the most incredible support system to Jack Stevens. He is the first one to believe him. He is the one to save his life. I just love John. He's my favorite character. And he speaks in an Australian accent, which is absolutely a challenge, but just such an enjoyable challenge. I have had a great time with him. So the next question I have here is, please explain how you do what you do. This is great. You're going to love this. So the way that I record is, and I'm not joking, none of this is a joke. In my husband's office, there is a very small walk-in closet. When I decided that I wanted to become an audiobook narrator, we removed all of our luggage from this closet and draped it in Dollarama blankets. The ceiling is covered by a blanket. The walls are just draped in blankets. The floor has rugs on it, and of course, a couple of blankets. The door is draped in blankets. My desk is covered in a very soft blanket. I wear very quiet clothing, so sweatpants, fluffy sweater, anything that won't rustle when I move, because, how annoying would it be to hear that scratch of denim every time I shifted my position? And Then I sit down in my very quiet chair. Please note that there is a theme here. Everything in this room is quiet, except for me. But I'm never quiet, so thank God for that. And I get in here and I open up the program Audacity. And I make sure that all of my settings are accurate, make sure that my voice is falling within the appropriate sound range, make sure that my microphone is turned on because, oh my God, wouldn't that be a nightmare? And then I come in here and I sit down and I read out loud for hours. And I don't even feel the time go by because I'm just so invested and involved in the story. It just doesn't feel like any time has passed at all. After the reading comes the editing, and this is where I have to give my husband just the biggest shout out because I'm not a techie and he is. And he downloaded the program for me, taught me how to use it, showed me how to edit, helps me out with my editing, makes sure that it looks good, makes sure that it sounds good. I mean, he's just the most supportive, wonderful man in the world. Thank you, baby. Yeah, and then once it's edited, we will listen to it on a few different platforms. We'll listen to it on our phones. We'll listen to it with no earphones. We'll listen to it on our Amazon Alexa and just try to get a real feel for how most consumers would be listening to it. Once we feel it sounds good, we'll upload it to ACX, cross our fingers, and hope that Jim enjoys it as much as we did. And that's it. That's really how I do what I do. I think the last thing that I have to say here is, if you haven't read The Kirk, buy The Kirk. It's on Amazon. Read it. You will love it. It is just such a phenomenal novel. And if you don't want to read it, download the audiobook. It's going to be available at the end of January / beginning of February on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. I hope that you will enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoy recording it. If you're interested in seeing more from me, you can follow me on Instagram at Nora F1R3. So that's at NORA F1R3. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to hear more from me on this YouTube channel, leave a comment down below for us, and I will be more than happy to come back and record for you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.